following is a Learfield presentation of the Washington State Sports Network.
He buries it. The Cougs have taken the lead. This place is going to pop off.
This is the Cougar Football Hour on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
We're committed to being great here.
Lofts it, intercepted, and Washington State, Shaw Smith-Wade.
I'm proud to represent Washington State. I know the people that wear their Cougs all across this country, they're proud to be a part of Washington State.
Ward has blocking to the right, sprints to the 10, angles all the way, touchdown.
Why not be here? Why not cheer on this team? Why not see this environment and make it something special?
Spins out of a tackle, has Green 20-yard line to the 15, near sideline, Watson, touchdown.
What an opportunity to show who we are as Cougs.
Tonight's show is brought to you by U.S. Bank. Life keeps moving. We're here for every step. U.S. Bank. Member FDIC. Tonight's show is also brought to you by Zappos, where the Palouse comes to play and eat. Now, live from Zappos, alongside Cougar head coach Jake Dickert, here's the voice of the Cougs, Matt Chazanow.
We are here live at Zappos. Great to be back at Zappos. It's great to see. And what a packed house we've got.
It's Schnitzel night, I believe. Am I saying that right?
Is it Schnitzel night? Oh, there's a lot of enthusiastic yeses to that.
That was what everybody's eating. It's like red cabbage, schnitzel, I mean, some gravy type stuff. I'm not too familiar with it, Chaz.
I feel like I need a beverage out of a boot is what it would feel appropriate.
I would agree with you.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Hey, it's been a huge week, and we've got to take it off the field here for a moment. Everybody in the country in college football has been talking about what happened just down the road in Colfax, in Whitman County, with an off-the-field ruling that went in favor of the Cougs and the Beavs. In what was on one hand obviously very exciting if you're a Coug partisan and a Beav partisan. On the other hand, from a legal perspective, if you put on your objective legal hat, a lot of folks were like,
common sense prevails, Chaz. I think that's what really yesterday was about, and us controlling the future of the Pac-12 and where we want it to go, and it's a step in the right direction. It's not the final destination. Right. It's a step to get to where we want to go. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of hard work that's gone into yesterday and preserving, and obviously President Schultz and Pat Chun have been a big part of that, and just really excited for their leadership as we continue to forge a path forward.
I was a little bit late getting here to Zappos, a little later than normal, because I was listening to Pat on national ESPN radio talking about what the implications of that were. They were kind of wondering, so what does this mean for the Pac, and what does this mean for Cougar football, for Jake Dickert, for this entire program?
Well, I think it means it's really important for us and our guys, to be a Power 5 institution and a Power 5 program, and change can't take that away. I keep telling that to the guys, and it's a step to say, hey, we control the future, what this looks like. I think there will be a lot of excitement to try to rebuild a premier West Coast in a little bit of a blend league as we go forward, and hopefully it allows us to, hey, next step, putting together next year's schedule, all kinds of things that I think will be big news here in the next few weeks. And like I said, it's a step in the right direction, and obviously proud of the leadership and where we're going. And I've always said it, wherever we head, we're going to put our flag down. We're going to be a leader of that conference and that group, and we're going to forge our way forward, and that's kind of what yesterday was about.
Well, it's exciting in that there is a step taken
correct
in the right way, and where it does lead, no doubt will be exciting, and to have that kind of
that's
sense
right.
and stability. Off of a tough one at Cal, you're down 18 with 7.5 minutes left. You have the dream scenario, a fight in returning back. You get a touchdown, a 2-point conversion. You force a turnover. You get a touchdown. You get another punt forced. You come back. You're right there. I mean, so that you were once again right on the cusp.
Well, there's one of those things, Chaz, and I told the team when we got back together, you love the fight. Obviously, there's a lot of situations that we could control taking care of the ball that, put us in that type of situation. But at the end of the day, we got the ball back with 3 minutes left, and there was every bone in my body thought we were going to go down, score, and win the game.
Yeah.
We just didn't convert in certain things, and but at the end of the day, it still comes back to execution. You got to be able to execute what your job is and what you're supposed to do in the most critical of moments. And I love the fight of our team. There's never been any give. The energy, even in a rainy, soaked practice this afternoon, was high, and everyone's ready to get back out on the football field and get it right. But from the quarterback to the O-line to the D-line to special teams, I mean, there's always those one plays of that margin that just keep us from getting over the hump. And obviously, all Cougs out there want the same things we do, and that's to win, and that's to have enough talent to go out there and get it done, and we do. So we got a great task, obviously, with senior night this Friday night we'll get into. But we got to do the little things to win games, especially on the road, and the Pac is the Pac. I mean, it's really, really strong, and we got to get back to those winning ways.
I don't want to ask you to critique officiating.
Yeah.
I want to ask for clarification so I have better understanding of maybe what was explained to you. How's that a politically correct way of asking this question?
That's a great question.
There was a fumble by Cam Ward that went forward about 20 yards. It was ruled a fumble. They didn't review it. There was no flag. There was blindside pressure.
Yeah.
I've not seen a better angled replay. I've seen the play again, but there was a blindside pressure moment where the hand of the blitzing linebacker went down. Mm-hmm. There may have been contact on the ball. I couldn't quite tell in the heat of the battle, and the ball went forward 20 yards. They ruled it a fumble. The offense, which became the defense, didn't react because it looked like it was an incomplete pass. That had to have been by rule explained as Cam Ward pushed his own fumble upfield.
See, and that's the one thing that we were trying to get explanation on. Like they said it was an open hand fumble, but I said, guys, there's no way an open hand fumble can go down the field 20 yards. And so obviously, we got to coach it better to scoop all balls, right? It almost came to Josh Kelly, and we got to do those things. But we went back to the TV copy. The only review that was there is a very fuzzy, blurry, you can't tell. But they did say they confirmed it. They didn't even say they had to go to review. They said review confirmed it immediately. And, those are the type of things you just move on. Okay. So that's the explanation you get. The harder one was, the kind of late injury sub they gave him after the play. Obviously that was a confusing situation too, and we've turned all those things in, and you don't get great explanations sometimes.
I don't want to put, because it puts you in a weird spot and you're not supposed to. I genuinely didn't know I hadn't yet to hear the official explanations, so that's why I asked. And for what it's worth, that is a rule. That is a thing. You can push your own fumble if it's fumbled, but
I think it's hard for a quarterback to do once you get an open hand to recapture the ball and shove it forward for 20 yards is a really impressive thing. And Cam's got great arm speed.
I put it this way.
I don't know if his arm speed is that elite.
I said on the air after it happened, I said, Brinker, the physics of it are perplexing. Yep. Just the actual, the physics of this, the human ability is odd. Correct. So I just wanted some clarification. All right. So, look, the other issue, for what it's worth, that first fumble, the very first drive, it must have happened on the sneak, and I don't mean to harp on all the I didn't see all of a sudden the balls are shot out 7 yards. It was a very strange moment.
Well, first of all, we've been 100% all year sneaking the ball.
Yeah,
and we've been very good in those situations, very confident to go out there and get it done, even when they know we're doing it.
It's like Philadelphia. It's like the Eagles.
The tush push, right?
Yeah.
That's what everyone's talking about. But the guy jumped over the pile and kind of wrangled the ball. We thought momentum was down,
stopped,
but there was no whistle, and then obviously they yanked the ball out. So. Right. But valuing the ball, I don't care what level you're at, is vitally important. And, the stats saying the turnover margin wins you games. Last year at this time we're +4, now we're -6. That's 10 different possessions that we're not getting those takeaways on one side of the ball and then giving the ball away. So it's the ultimate team game, including special teams and finishing some of those drives. So it's everything when the margins are thin and you're scrapping for wins that you got to execute in those moments. And that's players, that's coaches, it's everyone in our program fighting to get that done.
On the positive side, Leo Pulalasi was phenomenal, especially in the second half. He started to get some really sustained runs. It felt like at one point Ben Arbuckle said, hey, just run, just go.
Yeah, and it was a good feeling. I mean, it's what we feel like we can do, but to see a crafty and creative runner when everything's not always perfect, go out there and make some people miss, that's what a running back does. And it was just fun to see a young kid in a bright moment come out there and not flinch, have extreme confidence, and sometimes I don't even know if he realizes the type of stage he's on. And that's what's fun about Leo, right? You just go out there and play ball. You've done it a million times. He caught a pass down the sideline and broke a tackle. So it was just a really, really positive performance of a glimpse into the future and some of these guys of why we recruit them, why we brought them here. And I think the future looks bright. I also say, whoa, it was one performance, but at the end of the day, it's a lot of things to build on. But it's amazing, Chaz. Once you see him start to do that, the old line gets fired up, right? The confidence of the play caller says, hey, we're ripping runs. Let's keep it going. And that's the balance of the attack. Because besides the takeaways and I think an early 3 and out, we had a lot of success on offense. But, those takeaways led to 14 direct points. And, it's going to matter.
You also had a horribly unlucky bounce at the 1 yard line where Cal bounced a ball to their own center, who then dove into the end zone. That's just That the ball is shaped funny and happened to bounce that way.
It's margin of victory sometimes, and we got it out. We got it out later when it mattered to get us the ball back and get us an opportunity. So the guys are fighting. The energy this week has been great, and we're on the short week, ready for a great Friday night.
It is Wednesday night here at Zeppos. We are live here, packed house at Zeppos. We'll take a break. We'll talk about the Colorado Buffaloes next. Live here at Zeppos, talking ball with Coach.
Running a business is a lot of work. Luckily, I've got a great partner.
Oh, I think you.
I meant U.S. Bank.
I knew that.
U.S. Bank Business Essentials is a huge help to us.
Totally. Their comprehensive point-of-sale system does it all. Tracks inventory, manages schedules, customizes orders.
Plus all the regular banking stuff.
If only it could make coffee.
Nah, that's your job.
From point of sale to quick loans, we have many ways to make your business boom. That's what U.S. Bank is for. U.S. Bank. We'll get there together. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
SeatGeek's the ticketing app for fans like the sideline shot caller.
Come on, boys, pick up the pace!
SeatGeek got him a great deal on seats right near the action, so when he yells,
"What are you doing? Block him!"
he can be absolutely sure the players heard him. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Fubo is the official streaming platform of Washington State Athletics. With Fubo, you can watch every Pac-12 game, plus more college and pro sports, shows, movies, and news on over 350 live TV channels. Stream it live on your TV, phone, and other devices. No cable required. The best part? You can try Fubo free. There's no contract or commitment. To start watching, just go to FuboTV.com. That's FuboTV.com.
Cougar football lives here.
Up the middle, touchdown! 1 second left. Cougars on top.
On the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Coug fans! Can't decide what to do with your late-night weekends? Why not Cosmic Bowling? Every Friday and Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. is Cosmic Bowling at Zeppos. At a price designed with everyone in mind, we are your destination for music, disco lights, and of course, bowling. Can't join us on the weekends? Zeppos is the place to be for all ages every day of the week. With bowling, food, and drink specials, we offer prices that won't break the budget. You can even reserve your lane in advance with online reservations at Zeppos.com. When looking for fun in Pullman, look no further than Zeppos.
Well, they're doing it again, Mrs. Claus.
Who and what?
Northern Quest, trying to upstage me. This year they're giving away another $90,000 Porsche, a Macan. You know how fast they go. And those headlights with LED matrix beam technology? Rudolph's gonna need therapy again.
Win a new Porsche Macan in the Winter Wheels giveaway at Northern Quest. Grand prize drawing December 28th. See online for details.
Welcome back to the show. Time now to look ahead at this week's game with the Coors Light Opponent Preview. Coors Light, mountain cold refreshment made to chill.
Back here live, we're talking ball at Zeppos. We got a great crowd here at Zeppos. It's great to be back. We missed our folks. There was a local infrastructure, like literally a gas line issue last week.
I forgot about that. We were in the press box last week.
We were in the Geisel Field press box last week.
This is home. This feels good.
Yes, all is right in the world.
Yes,
all is right. Our hearts are warm. It's great to see the familiar faces. We've got a lot of questions. We got some write-ins. We've got the the Twitter thing rocking and rolling. But it's Colorado Buffalo week. I believe this is our opponent preview segment here. They're 4-6 on the year. They're 1-6 in the pack. They started the year 3-0. They have a win over Arizona State. They have some crazy games they've played. Just wild.
They have.
Double overtime against Stanford, up 29-0. Lost the game in double OT. They had a OT win over Colorado State, a like opponent, a familiar opponent. That was a wild game.
That was a wild game.
Rivalry game. Yeah. And most recently, they've been some really tight ball games. They lost at the buzzer basically to Arizona. Yeah. Arizona's a really good squad. They lost by 7 to Oregon State. Oregon State's a very good squad. They've been in some tight ball games.
You know, I think there's obviously a lot of mirroring with the two teams and coming into the same situations about not having, type of success you'd really want throughout the Pac-12 season after a pretty good start. And, I always think the make of a team is how hard they're playing when you watch them in the little things, even field goal block and kickoff and some of the things that not a lot of people talk about or mention, but they're playing with tons of effort. Obviously Coach Sanders has, this team and the rebuilt team, they've done a really good job, to get to this point. I just think they have a ton of skill players that they can really take advantage of on both sides of the ball. And, it really starts with quarterback in this league. I think that, Chaz. Every week's a unique and different challenge. And, Sanders obviously being the quarterback, he's going to remind you a lot of Cam. Not just mannerisms and movements, but the way he escapes and avoids the pocket. His level 2 ball, the touch that he puts on, especially when he's moving around, I think is really, really elite. Everyone's talking about him being maybe the top quarterback in next year's class, and they surrounded him with a bunch of receivers that can really play. Obviously they're not shy about talking about some deficiencies at offensive line that you got to try to take advantage of. But, coordinator change 2 weeks ago, you can kind of see some differences. Not as much tempo, using the tight end maybe a little bit less, using the Hunter kid in different ways and getting them the ball. But they really want to own space, and they're really explosive on offense. And, I think they got a lot of skill players that they're going to continue to develop.
Travis Hunter is a two-way player, which is in and of itself is unique.
It's pretty fun to watch.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, when you watch him on both sides of the ball, playing over 100 snaps of football, it's just so rare in today's world. And to see him do it at really an elite level, it's kind of fun to watch, if I'm being honest with you. So an elite corner and a really good playmaker at the receiver position.
You mentioned the coordinator change. Their new play caller, and it's kind of co-OC, is Pat Shurmur.
Yep.
Folks may remember Pat Shurmur. He was the head coach of the Giants in the NFL. He's been in the NFL a lot. His uncle was an NFL head coach, or was an NFL coach.
Yep.
So Shurmur comes in with, Coach Sanders, Deion Sanders comes in with all the NFL, Pro Football Hall of Famer, right? Yeah. So you've got this kind of NFL influence here. Sean Lewis was the play caller, the co-OC now, and so that seems to be the change. So maybe less tempo, and it's only been 2 weeks. It's only so much you can change.
So it's just hard when you're trying to game plan while you're seeing some old things, some new things.
What are they going to do?
Yeah, the schematics are very similar, but as a play caller to get that feel, normally after 10 games you have a really good feel for what they want to do in different zones and trying to feel our way out. But I think their success as offense has come through explosive plays. They're not afraid to take the ball down the field. They have very low play total in the low red zone for like 15 yards and in. That means they're scoring from a long ways away. So we got to be aware of it. We got to stay over the top, and we got to do a really good job in coverage. And, we got to have an edge at the defensive line position, which I believe is our strength.
They have passed the ball extremely well. They're ninth in the country in pass yards, fifth in the pack, which goes to, if you do the math on that, it's kind of amazing how many great pass offenses are in the pack. They have one stat in particular that really jumps off the page.
Okay.
They are third in the nation, tied in turnover margin.
Really?
They are plus 11 in turnover margin. They lead the pack. They forced a lot of fumbles, and they've gotten a lot of interceptions.
Yeah, and the reason is, I said it early in the week, they are a dictate defense. They're going to dictate the action to you. They're not going to wait and see what you do. They're going to be on the attack really for 60 minutes. And sometimes that can go really, really well. Sometimes there can be a seam in the defense and you give up explosive plays. But for them, it's created a lot of chaos and obviously takeaways win games. And that's what leads to success on the other side of the ball as well. So obviously very sound, very good front, very attacking. Sometimes they'll get in and out of gaps, but they're going to, like I said, come after you. They're not afraid to play zero coverage or man coverage wherever it seems to be. And they've done a really good job, I think, just being pretty consistent on that side of the ball.
Charles Kelly is their defensive coordinator, first-year DC, new staff, first-year staff in Boulder. He was with Nick Saban in Alabama for the last 3-4 years, and then he was in the SEC while Tennessee a year prior to that.
And you can see a lot of those deals. I like some bracket coverage, obviously some wall two, a lot of exotic pressures on third downs. Some of the things that we do a little bit, but every week is a kind of a new and different challenge. So that's the difference too. Being on the short week, you lose a day. So you lose a day of prep, you lose a practice. Those are things where you kind of get right back to it. We didn't have a lot of time to soak in that Cal game, Chaz. It was Sunday, come in early, let's get a plan together, and by Monday morning we were talking about game plan, and we were back on the practice field Monday afternoon. So, like I said, I think our guys have handled this short week very well. And this time of the season, it's about who's maxing out physically when you get to that game day, because it's still about the details and the technique, but it is about feeling good and making sure you're playing fast.
All right, that's our opponent preview segment. It's the Cougs against the Buffs. A 7:30 kick.
Yes.
Had to confirm
that's
that.
okay.
7:30 kick, thank you. 5:30 airtime Friday night here on the Palouse. We'll take a break. Cougs against the Buffs. We're talking ball here with Coach Dickert. Live here next at Zeppos.
Saturdays are made for football. And when the game is on, we're finally off. Off duty, offline, out of office. A cracked Coors Light is our do not disturb message to the world. On game day, we don't think about the 9 to 5, but worry about the 4th and 1. So this Saturday, grab a Coors Light, press play on some pigskin, and pause on everything else. Coors Light, mountain cold refreshments, made to chill. Proud partner of Cougar Athletics. 2021 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Want to earn some extra money this winter? Spokane International Airport is hiring multiple seasonal snow removal equipment operators. These are on-call positions for the upcoming winter season from November 2023 to March 2024. You can earn up to $36 an hour. Some positions require a CDL, and previous experience in operating snow removal equipment is highly preferred. Join our team today. Learn more and apply by visiting SpokaneSnow.com.
Do you ever pay attention to overhead power lines? If you're like most people, you don't, but you should, especially when you're working up on a roof or carrying a ladder outdoors. Kids who climb trees and fly kites and adults with drones need to watch out for power lines too. And on the off chance that you find a downed power line, stay at least 10 feet away and quickly call 911 and Avista. Always pay attention to power lines. It's your best line of defense. Avista, we just want you to be safe.
You're listening to Cougar Football on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
Whenever I see somebody purchasing something with their WSU card, I always like to give them a go Cougs. It brings me back to when I was in Pullman.
From the rolling hills of the Palouse to keys jingling before every kickoff, there's something special about being a Cougar. That's why BECU created the WSU credit and debit cards. It's just one more way to show pride for a place we all call home. Grab your WSU card today. BECU, power in people. Membership required. Restrictions apply. Call 800-233-2328 for details about credit costs and terms. Federally insured by NCUA. Member compensated for participation.
As a locally owned family business, tradition is the core of Chipman & Taylor Chevrolet in Pullman. We know that every family has traditions, and when it comes to automotive, we want your traditions to start with us, the family at Chipman & Taylor Chevrolet. We are a different type of dealership, and we take pride in continuing what we were taught many years ago, to be honest, never pressure, and to treat our customers like our own family. It's just that simple at Chipman & Taylor Chevrolet in Pullman.
This is the Cougar Football Hour on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
Runs into a massive Crimson, does not get the yard. It's a goal line stand.
Here's the voice of the Cougars, Matt Chazanow.
Back here live at Zeppos talking ball with Coach Dickert. Great to be back here with you on a Wednesday this week. Earn your bragging rights at Northern Quest. More slot machines, table games, restaurants, lounges, and luxury hotel rooms than anyone else in the region. Northern Quest, yes, the best. More at northernquest.com. We've got write-ins, so we should get to them. We should do that. And then we're going to talk to Big Brennan Jackson. For a couple segments. I can't wait for that.
What a pleasure.
I can't wait for that. He's the best. All right, so Dion is obviously he's a Hall of Famer. Yep, and again, this is a write-in question here. When it comes to coaching, what do you think some of the advantages of being, of wearing the jacket in Canton are to being someone who isn't in Canton, who's not in the Hall of Fame? Are you?
That would be me.
That's a very politically correct question.
And you, what's it like being a Hall of Famer or you, Coach Dickert? What is it like? Well, I tell you what.
I feel like I got put in the line of fire.
You said it
don't
right.
Don't kill the messenger.
You said it right. Well, I just think the biggest thing is, his life has been football. And there's not too many times when you're seeing both sides of it, and obviously being an elite college player to an elite NFL player to a Hall of Famer to now high school coach, successful college coach, big time. I mean, you've seen really every situation and scenario that you could possibly see. So I think, obviously he talks about he relates well to the players. He knows what it takes to do it at the highest level, and I think kids really relate to that. They go, okay, this is a guy that's done it. So they're saying, hey, when he says to do something, Well, he's doing it for your benefit, and obviously a lot of kids want to play at the professional level, and you got to take that obviously with a lot of great
there's credibility.
There's a lot of credibility there.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I mean, obviously I just Coach Sanders. I see the player. You see the dancing in the end zone and the high stepping, and what a competitor. And I think guys feed off that type of energy.
All right, next question here: which former players have stopped by to visit this year?
Ooh, that's a good question. That's a good question. I know we're gonna have some guys this week. They'll be out there. I mean, Abe Lucas, Liam Ryan, saw them on the sideline. Obviously Jihad handles most of those things. I'm trying to think back in Pullman.
There's a bunch actually that may just be coming to games.
There's been some.
I know for a fact.
On the Cal sideline, there's some. Obviously USC. There's been some guys that have come back to the program.
There were a ton of UCLA. It was Rob Taylor was at UCLA. Gabe was at UCLA.
Yeah, Deion Henley.
Gabe
we talked
Marks,
about.
Deion Henley was there.
Yeah. Gabe was there.
Gabe was. Jason Hill was last game in Berkeley.
Correct.
Jason Hill was down there. Yeah.
And once again, just another great crowd of Cougs in Berkeley, and just obviously everywhere we go, it just seems like we got half the stadium, and it was fun to see again on Saturday.
It was really apparent in Tempe.
It was
of all the places. Like it was.
I would agree with you.
It was wild.
Felt a little bit more like a home game.
Yeah. Well, and audibly, so the way our ears are, we hear the kind of TV mic'd up version. So it doesn't sound the same. It sounds different. And I was like, gosh, it feels like we're in Giesa Field. Like it's really did. Really wild. Okay, let's see here. This is a write-in question. Cal's head coach is a former DC, Justin Wilcox. He's a former DC. We saw some good D last Saturday. What do you want to say about Schmedding and Caligas?
Well, I think obviously two guys that are, continue to be cornerstones of our program. And Pete's been with me all the way since 2017 at Wyoming. Got a chance to work with him there. And, just easy to get around Coach Caligas and just for a moment feel his passion, his energy, and just what he pours into the guys is amazing. He also does like team chapel on Friday nights and just pours into every member of our program. And it's fun to see how just position coaches can not only, impact their guys, but the real ones – he can do the corners. He can do the receivers. Like, everyone on our team knows Coach Cal, and he's just so authentic to who he is and what he does.
Or the radio guys. Like, I love Coach Cal.
No doubt.
I don't play on the team. I don't suit up. I love that guy.
Coach today was in, cut-off sleeves, and, he's just sweating it out, It's just
45.
Yeah, he's one of those guys. Like, we do, a 7 a.m. morning practice. Like, he's doing laps around the field at 6 a.m. So it's just fun to be a part of. And, obviously Coach Schmed is from the region, and, we're still continuing to get better as we go throughout this season. And there's some things we need to improve on, but excited for the continued growth of both of those guys.
Went to University High in Spokane.
That's right.
Runner-up
Spokane native.
That's right. Runner-up state title wrestling.
Really?
Jeff Schmedding, yeah.
I don't know if I knew that.
Oh, he'll double leg takedown you for sure.
Really?
Oh, I have no doubt.
You got to be really leery around those wrestling guys.
Oh, for sure.
Like, that
Sneaky.
never leaves their blood.
No.
And they just are always looking for a shoot.
Always leverage.
And a leg grab.
Always leverage. Yeah. They know full Nelson's illegal. They might sneak one in anyway just for a second. Point deduction. Yeah, but we're not getting scored.
We're not in there.
We're not getting scored. Yeah.
You're right.
You said a couple of weeks. Oh, yeah. You said a couple of weeks ago you were a podcast guy. I'm putting you on the spot here.
Ooh. Yeah.
Did you say that? I don't remember.
I think I did. I do some treadmill stuff where I do some podcasts, but I'm kind of a big now, like YouTube Reels. You get on kind of a motivational topic, and you start to kind of roll through it, and you get some good stuff.
Yeah, so they kind of ask you, like, what do you have any listens you'd recommend? But
well, like I said, I like Jocko Willick's podcast. I listen to him all the time. That's kind of what that topic came up. But, I kind of get on different themes. So I'll go like on a Kobe Bryant theme and just listen to Kobe Bryant or Simon Sinek or just some different kind of motivational guys. Inky Johnson, kind of going through a whole different realm there.
Inky Johnson's a good one.
Yeah, very inspirational. I just love his messages. I think it's very authentic. He's got a great story when you really go through the backdrop. And, like I said, you can get a lot of things from him.
I can't get enough of Jocko.
Oh, yeah.
I can't get, there's no amount of his content that I would tire of.
I agree.
And if folks haven't consumed him,
no, because we put out something to the team, and I'm a big video guy, and just so guys, they gotta feel the message, right? They gotta see it and feel it. And we talked about, he had this thing out the other day about it isn't the plan, right? There's a moment between the plan and the execution of the plan where hesitation is the enemy. Right, and we just talked about it. It's the same thing in football. There's a moment between getting the play and executing the play. hesitation is your enemy. Go play fast. Don't worry about making a mistake. Like, things are going to happen, and anytime I'm feeling hesitation, like, I'm in a bad state, right? So it's just like that's part of playing fast and free and going out there and giving your best is you got to eliminate some of those things.
I love it. We've got some questions on the old social media verse. We're going to talk to Brennan Jackson next.
Senior night. What a great one to have up here.
He's the one we want to talk to. There's no doubt about it. Thank you, Coach.
Absolutely.
We'll take a break. We'll get Brennan Jackson up here for a couple of segments next, live here at Zeppo's.
If you've got the right tools and the friendly people at U.S. Bank in your corner, making smarter money choices is a piece of cake. If only our tools and helpful advisors could have helped you avoid some of those not-so-smart choices in life. Like that time you tried to pick up unicycling.
Whoa, coming through!
Or when you thought it'd be okay to pet that squirrel in the park.
Good squirrel, good squirrel.
While we can't help you with all that, we can help you bank smartly at usbank.com/smarter together. Member FDIC.
If Pac-12 football runs deep in your veins, then Sirius XM Pac-12 radio is what you need to listen to. We're talking conference and team previews, plus hear live games, news, and analysis from experts like Jeff Schwartz, Yogi Roth, and Evan Moore. Go in-depth with your favorite team with coaches shows, championship specials, and more. Get inside Pac-12 football like nowhere else. Feed your fandom on the Sirius XM app. Stay up to date anywhere you go. Just download the app and start streaming.
Whoever said good things come to those who wait clearly never ordered in the McDonald's app. Just order ahead in the app, and you can pick up when you get here. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Cougars fans, now you can win all season. On game day, get a 20-piece chicken McNuggets and 2 medium fries for just $10.99 when you order ahead on the app. Valid once per day through December 1st, 2023. At participating McDonald's, must opt into rewards.
This is Drew Bledsoe, and you're listening to Cougar Football.
Bledsoe calls his play, has the ball, throws a home run ball from the end zone to Bobo! Touchdown! Washington State!
On the Washington State Sports Network.
Hey, Coug fans! Can't decide what to do with your late-night weekends? Why not Cosmic Bowling? Every Friday and Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. is Cosmic Bowling at Zeppo's. At a price designed with everyone in mind, we are your destination for music, disco lights, and of course, bowling. Can't join us on the weekends? Zeppo's is the place to be for all ages every day of the week. With bowling, food, and drink specials, we offer prices that won't break the budget. You can even reserve your lane in advance with online reservations at Zeppos.com. When looking for fun in Pullman, look no further than Zeppo's.
Carbon monoxide detectors save lives because if kerosene, propane, natural gas, or wood isn't burned properly, dangerous carbon monoxide may result, and it can build up indoors without you knowing, as it's invisible and odorless. So protect yourself by installing UHL-approved carbon monoxide detectors. If carbon monoxide is present, the detector will alert everyone to get out of the house, where you can safely call 911 for help. Avista. We just want you to be safe.
This is the Cougar Football Hour.
Somersaults in, football first touchdown.
U.S. Bank, life keeps moving. We're here for every step. U.S. Bank, member FDIC. Here's Matt Chazanow.
Back here live at Zeppo's, we are talking ball. It's that time of the week. We're about midway through the show, getting set for the Colorado Buffaloes Friday kick, so a Wednesday show, and it is great to have big Brennan Jackson here on the show. Round of applause for you. How about that?
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Awesome.
It has to be a little bit surreal. I know you've been here for a long time. You know, and even by collegiate standards, you've been here for a long time. But it's got to be surreal that it's winding down.
Yeah, I mean, 6 years in this amazing place. I mean, I so many memories, so many great people I've met, all the connections I've made, all the Coug fans out here. It's been an absolute blessing to be here for the past 6 years.
Well, it's been a lot of success, a lot of wins, a lot of sacks, a lot of tackles for loss.
Hey, I do what I can.
Let's go back in time. Like you're a true freshman. You know, what did this? Was this the vision? Like, was this, you were like, this is what I want to do. This is what I hope my experience is.
I mean, coming in, I was like bright-eyed. Yes, I want to just be the best player I can possibly be for the program. And then you get humbled a little bit when you first get here, right?
Is that right?
I had Andre Dickert here as a tackle, and I thought I was really, really good in high school. Everyone thinks they are. First one-on-one rep planted right on my behind.
Is that right?
I was like, okay, maybe this college thing's a little hard. All right, it's a little bit difficult. But, so many lessons over the years, and I just knew that was what I wanted to do, was just be an amazing Cougar, but also a great teammate.
Did Dillard talk to you after, like, hey, like, welcome to the party, but, like, I wanted to put you in your place? Like, you were the, hey, big recruit, you're a true freshman, blah, blah, blah. And Dillard was like, no.
Yeah.
Did he tell you?
Oh, yeah. It was funny because on my official, I met him, and then he was like, oh, I'm super excited for you to be here. And I was like, this guy's great. I can't wait to compete against him. I don't think he's really competing with me. He was kind of just getting reps against me. But, no, it was awesome just being able to learn from those guys. And he's an amazing player.
Yeah, he was a special one. Did you go up against – you must have gone up against Abe in practice also, too. But,
every day.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Every day.
You went up against Dillard and Abe Lucas. And, I mean, you've gone up against some of the best in college football, which prepares you for –
Saturdays,
for that better than anything.
Exactly. When you have such amazing talent on your own roster, and you get the iron sharpens iron every single day of practice, it just makes those Saturdays a lot easier when you got guys of that kind of caliber on your offensive line. So I'm just so thankful to have those players and the type of men that they were. They were so eager to teach and also help me learn throughout the process because they want to see me be successful on Saturdays as much as they want to be successful.
That's awesome. So they're really good teammates too.
Absolutely.
Give me some. Roll through these past 6 years a little bit. Top of your head. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Give me some of your top game memories. It may not even be a huge play that fans remember, but maybe it is. Maybe it's a big play. Maybe it's Wisconsin this year, or maybe it's Wisconsin last year.
Yeah.
Give me some of your top moments.
Okay, top three. Okay. Number one was my first ever game I played in. It was Northern Colorado my sophomore year, retro freshman year. And I got a tackle for a loss. I'm like my third play in. It was great. Mom was in the bathroom. Didn't see it. So that was awesome, right? That was great. Second favorite play has to be my flying squirrel play against Washington when we played against them over in 2021. I did a flying squirrel and it kind of sacked the guy. And then I get number one, Wisconsin. The ball just ended up in my lap. So I was like, I had to take it in for the end zone.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely. Well, those are some memories right there.
Yeah,
that's awesome. That's so now here you are this year, and you're the veteran. You are the leader of the team, one of a handful of guys who would claim to be the leader of the team. That must be, one, probably a little bit stressful to start the year in that there's a lot of responsibility, and two, probably gratifying is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, I was a captain in high school, and that was an amazing honor because I got voted on by my teammates, and then just having that transfer over to college as well. Because when I first got here, I was a lot different of a human. My focuses were a little different, but just to see my own grow to the point where the guys that I'm around in the locker room believe in me to be their captain, it's one of the best feelings in the world. And I think there's a lot of stress with that, but it's also so fulfilling when you go out there on Saturdays and you get 11 guys on offense, 11 guys on defense, like-minded towards a common goal. And you succeed in that, it's the best feeling in the world.
Did you see the picture that Dallas Hobbs and the creative guys posted of you your freshman year on the almost Saturday or whatever?
They do it every single Friday. They do those pictures. And I'm like, where do you find these?
Beautiful.
Where do you get these photos of me?
How much weight have you put on in your college years?
50 pounds.
50? Yeah. But by design. You're supposed to, that's why I asked.
Absolutely, yeah. When I first got here, about 210, soaking wet, and now I'm sitting about 260, 265 on a good day.
Yeah, that's 50 pounds, and you carry it well, of course,
Thank you.
Quite athletically. But 50 pounds of intentionally, which was the bulk of it in the beginning, and then did you put it on really, really fast, and then figure out how to use it, or has this just been kind of a slow climb?
No, there was definitely a learning curve.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I had to put it on fast because they're like, hey, get here, get to this weight. And I thought eating donuts every day was the plan to do that.
It's a way.
As much as I could, so I just stuffed my face with donuts.
Did you really?
Milk. Yeah. Oh, it was
it was like a donut diet? Like that was
about 6 a day.
Is that right?
It was tough.
So 6 donuts a day.
And then I realized that that's not good, sustainable for a long-term career. So I was like, okay, let me figure this out a little bit. And then I kind of toned it down, and then I started kind of having a food plan, a diet plan, and it just made it into this way. Now I am like this today, so it's awesome.
Now you are. Better than 6 donuts a day. I
would still do it today.
I love it. All right, we'll take a break, come back. We're talking all kinds of things here. Big Brandon Jackson, senior here on this squad as the Cougs get set for the Buffs. We'll talk a little more football next.
Saturdays are made for football, and when the game is on, we're finally off. Off duty, offline, out of office. A cracked Coors Light is our do not disturb message to the world. On game day, we don't think about the 9 to 5, but worry about the 4th and 1. So this Saturday, grab a Coors Light, press play on some pigskin, and pause on everything else. Coors Light, mountain cold refreshment, made to chill. Proud partner of Cougar Athletics. 2021 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
SeatGeek's the ticketing app for fans like the sideline shot caller.
Come on, boys, pick up the
SeatGeek got him a great deal on seats right near the action, so when he yells,
"What are you doing? Block him!"
he can be absolutely sure the players heard him. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Whenever I see somebody purchasing something with their WSU card, I always like to give them a go Cougs. It brings me back to when I was in Pullman.
From the rolling hills of the Palouse to keys jingling before every kickoff, there's something special about being a Cougar. That's why BECU created the WSU credit and debit cards. It's just one more way to show pride for a place we all call home. Grab your WSU card today. BECU, power in people. Membership required. Restrictions apply. Call 800-233-2328 for details about credit costs and terms. Federally insured by NCUA. Member compensated for participation.
This is former Coug Eric Coleman.
Picked off, intercepted, touchdown coming into the end zone, Eric Coleman.
And you're listening to Cougar Football. Go Cougs.
Today's Nutrition Report is brought to you by Wilbur Ellis. Prior to an intense workout, getting the right nutrition is key to achieving maximum energy levels and building strength for future workouts. The same can be said for crops during peak nutrient demand. With great yields come intense nutrient demand, and farmers feed that demand for soil nutrients by applying fertilizer. Wilbur Ellis helps farmers maximize their yield potential with products like Till It and Power. Just like a nutritionist helps high-caliber athletes achieve their maximum potential. Take charge of your crop's performance. Visit WilburEllisAgribusiness.com.
Fubo is the official streaming platform of Washington State Athletics. With Fubo, you can watch every Pac-12 game, plus more college and pro sports, shows, movies, and news on over 350 live TV channels. Stream it live on your TV, phone, and other devices. No cable required. The best part? You can try Fubo free. There's no contract or commitment. To start watching, just go to FuboTV.com. That's FuboTV.com.
This is the Cougar Football Hour on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
Runs into a massive Crimson, does not get the yard. It's a goal line stand.
Here's the voice of the Cougars, Matt Chazanow.
Back here live talking ball, we're with Big Brennan Jackson as we get set for the Cougs and the Buffs. Brennan Jackson owns, I'm reading from the Washington State football game notes here, Brennan Jackson owns 18.5 career sacks and 31.5 career tackles for loss. Wow. Both of those lead the team. Absolutely. Round of applause for that. An accomplished edge. Your 18.5 sacks. You moved into top 10 this past Saturday. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You are top 10 all-time, now 9th in Coug history in sacks. Is that bizarre to hear?
Yeah, no. I remember the first time I ever came to visit, there was the little sacks chart in the little Hall of Fame we have. Yep. And I took a picture of it. And I was like, Dad, one day I'm going to be on this. And he's like, yep, and one day I'm going to fly. And I was like, Dad, come on. And he was like, no, you definitely can. And so I just always had that vision in my head, like, I can do this. Like, this is my goal, is what I'm going for. And just being able to hit that, I mean, it's a surreal experience.
You are a half tackle for loss away from the top 10. So that is a statistical incentive for you over the next 48 hours, 72 hours. How about that? So speaking of which, afterwards, not to get ahead of the Buffs and the Apple Cup and maybe a bowl game, but I would imagine you want to play in the NFL. Is that right? I don't want to just assume, but I would think you have professional football aspirations. Is that right? What's your vision there?
Absolutely. I mean, ever since I was a little kid playing this game, I've always wanted to be in the NFL and make it to professional level. And I know the commitment that takes, and I'm willing to do anything it takes to get there. But I also knew that this game ends for everybody one day, so I took my academics very seriously, and I'm actually even more proud to say that this December I'll be walking my master's degree.
Oh, congratulations. Wow. Boy, does that make your mom happy back there, I'm sure.
Oh, she's not here.
I thought she was here. She's not here. Oh,
no,
she's always here.
No, but I got my beautiful girlfriend back there.
Oh, there you go.
Me, so
okay, well, there you go. All right, well, you're in good hands then.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all good. All right, let's talk a little bit of Buffs. You see what when you look at their offense?
I mean, I see electric playmakers all over the field. I mean, we got to start with Nishidur. He's an amazing athlete. We've watched him all year, and he just is able to extend plays really well, and he has a lot of weapons on the outside, like Travis Hunter. Watching him at Jackson State as well, just to see his growth and maturity as a player, I think he's a dynamic playmaker that we need to have eyes on all game. And I think all their skill positions have a lot of great, characteristics, and they have a lot of weapons on their team.
No, tall task. Tall task. Never
Absolutely.
Easy. It's never easy. It's senior night, Friday night. It's your final Geisa Field game this Friday. Amazing.
That's wild.
Amazing.
It's crazy to hear.
6 years. You and RJ Stone, roommates, been in it together the whole time.
Yep.
6
Ever
years.
Since we got here in 2018, right? Gosh, so long ago.
Yeah.
I don't even know what was like popping on the radio back then. I forget. It was so long ago.
It was a lot of Cougar football. That's what it was. Yeah, it was a lot of Cougar football. That's exactly what it was. Hey, thank you, and congratulations on all the success and more to come. Brandon Jackson, absolutely one of our all-time favorites, live here at Zeppo's. We'll talk with Coach Dickert more next.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hey, Coug fans, Tuesdays at Northern Quest are now officially Tuesdays with a capital 2. Together with Coors Light, we're doubling up the fun for Camus Rewards members every Tuesday with 2 times the points, $2 Coors Lights, double promotion entries, $2 food specials, and too many more resort-wide deals to list here. So grab your Camus Rewards card and tackle your Tuesdays with Tuesdays. Only at Northern Quest. Details at northernquest.com.
Hey, Coug fans! Can't decide what to do with your late-night weekends? Why not Cosmic Bowling? Every Friday and Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. is Cosmic Bowling at Zeppo's. At a price designed with everyone in mind, we are your destination for music, disco lights, and of course, bowling. Can't join us on the weekends? Zeppo's is the place to be for all ages every day of the week. With bowling, food, and drink specials, we offer prices that won't break the budget. You can even reserve your lane in advance with online reservations at Zeppos.com. When looking for fun in Pullman, look no further than Zeppo's.
Cougar football.
Rolling right with the ball, going to throw the long ball down the middle, man open.
Watch the end zone, leaping grab, touchdown, and the Palouse is going to pop.
Cougar football from Learfield.
There is a local ranch just outside of Boise, Idaho, that has masterfully bred Japanese Wagyu cattle with American Angus cattle. Now this American-style Wagyu beef is available to you and your family. Rosars presents Snake River American-style Wagyu beef. Snake River Farms beef is famously found in many exclusive 5-star steak restaurants. Snake River Farms, available at your local neighborhood Rosars.
This Cougar football tailgating moment is brought to you by Canoe Ridge Vineyards, proud partner of Washington State University Athletics. For this week's football game against Colorado, smart Cougar tailgaters know to pair award-winning Canoe Ridge wines with a crowd-pleasing pregame meal. Your mealtime roster will score big points with Canoe Ridge wines backing it up. Canoe Ridge Vineyards, representing the best of award-winning Washington wines with more than 85 critical scores of 90-plus points. Visit them at their Walla Walla tasting room or at canoeridgevineyard.com. Go Cougs!
This is the Cougar Football Hour.
Somersaults in, football first touchdown.
U.S. Bank, life keeps moving. We're here for every step. U.S. Bank, member FDIC. Here's Matt Chazanow.
Back here live at Zeppo's, we're talking ball with Coach Dickert as we get set for the Colorado Buffaloes. And Brandon Jackson, just one of the absolute all-timers. He's just a great kid. He really is.
And we had RJ on early in the season, too. I mean, just him and BJ just obviously mean a lot to me. They've been here since I've been here and actually before, right? But just a couple of those iconic Cougs that, obviously you talk about the records, the sacks, the playmaking, even better people. And just all Cougs should be really, really proud of not just BJ, but this whole, senior class. Whether they were here for 6 months or 6 years, like a couple of these guys, they've been through a lot of different things, a lot of challenging, a lot of high wins, and obviously some disappointments. But the men that we're producing out of this program, just like BJ and others, should be really proud. I mean, to walk out with his masters and to take advantage of his time when he's just so focused and where he's going and what he's doing, I'm proud to represent him.
I'm excited for him. Master's degree, possible pro football future.
Yeah, and all the scouts are wildly excited because the best part, the one thing is when they see him, they're like, man, this guy plays with heart and effort. Yeah. And it's like they're looking for the same things we are. I mean, guys that care are going to be the first in the building, take care of themselves, do right, and play hard. And you can win a lot of football games with that. So I think we have a lot of guys on this roster with a lot of NFL futures and just excited for those guys.
Scouts, when you bring that up, trying to go pro, scouts know, right? And they can see heart and effort and desire, and they might look for that. And I mean, not like, this is a game, like earnest, constant effort, because they go back and see film. Like, they can see all the time, and it's their job. Their job is to do that.
Yeah, and what best thing I love about it, just like our scouting, they come to practice. Mm-hmm. And you say a lot about who you are on that practice field. And those guys are there not just in fall camp, not just in spring ball, but as we go throughout the season and through a prep week, I think you really get a chance to get a really good glimpse. And the NFL doesn't leave any stone unturned. And that's private life, but that's practice. That's how you play. That's how you are in the building. They ask the janitor, the cooks. I mean, they're gonna find every detail about, because that's how much they have invested in it. And when guys get to that type of level, I think it is my job to provide as much feedback so you can make as good a decisions possible for their future. The problem is a lot of people want to talk to these kids about it before it's even close to a reality, right? So there's a bridge, you got a gap there, but excited for obviously his future and where he's going.
100%, no doubt about it. Let's get to questions here on social media. Go Cougs and Seattle Sports Bet. Well, I'll tell you what. He says, one, any insight into our team's academic progress this semester? Well, for one, Brandon Jackson's about to walk with his master's degree in a little bit, so we learned that.
Yeah, I mean, we just had another. I meet with the academic team every Wednesday. I don't know if a lot of head coaches do it or not, but we sit down and we spend an hour and we go through guys. And through my time here, we've never been in this stable of position. And we came into this semester with the highest cumulative GPA in Washington State football history.
Is that right?
That's absolutely right.
I didn't know
absolutely right.
That's great.
So best, when we talk about best, Chaz, and I've given the dissertation on best, and what that stands for isn't just on the football field, right? It's creating men that are ready for life, and BJ hit it right on the head. Football is going to end for everybody. You don't get to our age and just let's go to the YMCA and strap the pads on, right? This game's just over, right?
Terrible idea.
Terrible idea. Everyone got a vision of me and you like doing an ISO drill, right? You know what I'm saying?
Imagine?
I think I'd get you.
Oh, there's no doubt. That's not. We're not. Me and you bowl in the ring. Coach,
the old hamburger drill. You're laying on your back. You get up and you just go at it, right? But you don't do that when you get to our age, right? You can play hoops and racquetball and pickleball and all those different type of things. That's what makes this game so unique and special. So it ends for everybody, and there's a whole nother phase of life that we're getting them ready for.
Which current WSU coach has the best one-on-one basketball game? What a great question.
That is a really good question. There's a lot of people that think they're really good, but I'd probably have to go with Coach Edwards.
Can Edwards play?
Yeah, I
Nick
think
Edwards.
he can play. Yeah. They do some noon ball stuff like in the off season that I'm too competitive. I can't go back in there. There's a feeling of what I used to be like that I can't even shoot the ball anymore.
I get it.
So it's one of those things where I don't need an elbow.
No.
You know what I mean?
You're begging for a torn ankle.
Exactly right.
You're requesting it.
Coach Stace, our lead recruiter, I mean, he likes to think he's got game a little bit too, but he's often injured, I believe. So he's one of those guys that's in and out of the lineup a little bit.
My favorite part of noon ball and all that comes along with what everybody knows of noon ball is like the first time you come out, like, what are guys wearing? Like, what's the confidence level? Like, how ostentatious are we at noon ball here? Like, how much have we considered the aesthetic of noon ball?
I think they think about it way too much. If I'm going to be honest with you, the guy that comes out in tights is like, come on, coach, you're 39 years old. Let's get the tights out.
It's great. It's great. Jennifer Delzer wants to know the NCAA college football ranking systems. She finds them to be very frustrating, especially for West Coast teams. From preseason to the playoffs, do you have any ideas how the systems could be improved? Do you agree that they're frustrating? What do you think?
Well, I think there is a little bit of a West Coast bias, and I think some of it is, the
bias against the West Coast.
Yeah, against the West Coast, and I think it's because some of the kick times are later.
Yeah.
I really do. I mean, college football, I grew up in the Midwest. I mean, that's a 1 o'clock sport. That's a 4 o'clock at latest. The East Coast, I mean, these games are rolling, and I think sometimes, when you have really elite teams and players, that sometimes that gets overlooked. And, you look at the map, there's a lot of population on that East Coast.
100%.
Right? But I think, obviously, going into the season, I think the Pac has lived up to the hype, and I believe it's the best conference in college football. And obviously that'll play out in the bowl season and the playoff, and there's still a lot of things to play for. But, I think there's more bias than anything, and we'll kind of see how it shapes up. But I do say this, at the end of the day, like we talked about early on with the rankings, all this stuff does end up playing itself out. Next year going to the 12-team playoff, I just think it's been so long to finally get to a true playoff, and we can do it out on the field. And I don't think you ever need any more than 12 teams in college football. You got some of the best. You got all different types of levels in there, different conferences, different regions, and let's settle it on the field.
Well, I'll feel differently and eat these words if the Cougs are ever ranked 13th. But
I would agree with that.
It does feel a bit more satisfying that at least, you go back to like the BCS. Well, at least the third-ranked, if you're the 13th ranked team, you had an option. It's kind of like being on the basketball bubble. You're probably about the 33rd ranked team in the country. There was a spot to clean it up.
There was an opportunity in there for you to get in there.
Right. It's not like you're undefeated and you're third ranked and you're Jason Campbell's Auburn team and you just got no it's not really fair.
No, I agree. And then it's going to be different because you got to remember the playoff is going to start the first week in December. So you could get a team, let's just say Alabama, could be done with their season. first week in December.
Ready to
right?
go.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's interesting. And the first round's going to go, home games. So I think that'll be a unique atmosphere and different things.
Can't wait.
It could be, going playing in let's just say Wisconsin, some cold weather stuff. That's a little bit different. So it's going to create a different dynamic. Then they'll go to neutral sites and they'll go to a championship game.
I need to go back and check. Cougs would have been in it in 2018, but I need to check to see where they would have gone. I think it's South Bend. I think it would have been. I think
they would have been on the road.
It would have been on the road.
As an at-large.
I think Notre Dame was the 6th.
Okay.
Well, if that's how it's going to work out.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
but imagine, like I said, to win that Apple Cup game, they get the home game. Imagine what that weather's like the second week in December. Let's roll.
How great would a Geisa Field Pullman playoff game be? Incredible. Let's do that.
I mean,
let's do that.
Yeah,
Let's do that.
They're going to put people on top of the building. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Capacity is now 60,000.
Correct.
It's just awesome. Hey, Washington State University would like to thank Crimson and Gray for their continued support of Cougar Athletics. Head to bookstore.com to get the latest in Cougar apparel. That's BKSTR.com. We'll take a break and continue. We've got some more questions if we can get to them here live at Zeppo's Talking Ball with Coach.
Saturdays are made for football. And when the game is on, we're finally off. Off duty, offline, out of office. A cracked Coors Light is our do not disturb message to the world. On game day, we don't think about the 9 to 5, but worry about the 4th and 1. So this Saturday, grab a Coors Light, press play on some pigskin, and pause on everything else. Coors Light, mountain cold refreshments, made to chill. Proud partner of Cougar Athletics. 2021 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Do you ever pay attention to overhead power lines? If you're like most people, you don't, but you should. Especially when you're working up on a roof or carrying a ladder outdoors. Kids who climb trees and fly kites and adults with drones need to watch out for power lines too. And on the off chance that you find a downed power line, stay at least 10 feet away and quickly call 911 and Avista. Always pay attention to power lines. It's your best line of defense. Avista, we just want you to be safe.
Running a business is a lot of work. Luckily, I've got a great partner.
Oh, I thank you.
I meant U.S. Bank.
I knew that.
U.S. Bank Business Essentials is a huge help to us.
Totally. Their comprehensive point-of-sale system does it all. Tracks inventory, manages schedules, customizes orders.
Plus all the regular banking stuff.
If only it could make coffee.
Nah, that's your job.
From point of sale to quick loans, we have many ways to make your business boom. That's what U.S. Bank is for. U.S. Bank. We'll get there together. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
The passion.
He's going to take it to the house. Dinner's cooking. Touchdown.
The fury.
Getting blitzed. Down he goes.
The speed.
40, there he goes. Down the sideline.
Best in college football.
Toward the end zone. Got it for 6 points. You can unhitch the wagon. Put the pony from the barn. Back to the end zone. 30, 20.
This is the College Football Blitz. Listen all season long on College Sports Now on the Varsity Network. Cougar football lives here.
Got the middle touchdown. 1 second left. Cougars on top.
On the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Coug fans! Can't decide what to do with your late-night weekends? Why not Cosmic Bowling? Every Friday and Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. is Cosmic Bowling at Zeppo's. At a price designed with everyone in mind, we are your destination for music, disco lights, and of course, bowling. Can't join us on the weekends? Zeppo's is the place to be for all ages every day of the week. With bowling, food, and drink specials, we offer prices that won't break the budget. You can even reserve your lane in advance with online reservations at Zeppos.com. When looking for fun in Pullman, look no further than Zeppo's.
Want to earn some extra money this winter? Spokane International Airport is hiring multiple seasonal snow removal equipment operators. These are on-call positions for the upcoming winter season from November 2023 to March 2024. You can earn up to $36 an hour. Some positions require a CDL, and previous experience in operating snow removal equipment is highly preferred. Join our team today. Learn more and apply by visiting SpokaneSnow.com.
Back at it live, we're talking about final segment here at Zeppo's final home Zeppo's show.
It is.
Of the year. We were talking about
How fast did that go?
I know, right? These Wednesday shows. from way back months ago, and now here we are. Next week's show also Wednesday because of Thanksgiving prior to the Apple Cup. No one gets you closer to the game than SiriusXM Pac-12 Radio. Tune in for news, talk, and analysis from the offseason through the regular season and into the postseason. We've got your team covered anywhere you go. It is a 7:30 kick on Friday.
We got the Wazoo gear.
That's right.
We're ready to go. It's the Wazoo game. It's senior night.
It's awesome.
Let's pack Giesa Field. Let's honor these seniors. Let's send them out with a win. It's going to be a great week, Chess.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you for this time as always. Go Cougs. Thanks to everybody here in attendance, all the write-in questions, the Twitter folks, Jared Pranghuber, our man behind the camera, Jerry Kylo getting us on the air as always. Luke Hallett. By the way, Luke in studio. He'll be on the call in Connecticut for Buckets with Kyle Smith and company. Excited for that. Cougs take on Mississippi State to start on Saturday morning. So it'll be Cougs against the Buffs Friday night. Go Cougs.
Go Cougs.
You've been listening to the Cougar Football Hour on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield. Tonight's show has been brought to you by U.S. Bank. Life keeps moving. We're here for every step. U.S. Bank. Member FDIC. Tonight's show is also brought to you by Zeppos, the home for the Cougar Coaches Show, where the Palouse comes to play and eat. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the Washington State Sports Network.